Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 5th September 2021. In this lecture, we are going to discuss 10 articles which are very much relevant to UPSC. As I am repeatedly saying, this Sunday's newspaper is important to cover environment, inequality and as well as science and technology point of view. So if you see this index, you will come to know that. So this Sunday's paper is important to cover environment and ecology and also even science and technology related current affairs. So now let us try to see the list of topics we are going to discuss in this lecture. So first topic we are going to discuss, it is about Poshan Abhiyan. So why this Poshan Abhiyan is in use? Because of Telangana state government. So Telangana state government urged central government mainly to come up with this Poshan Abhiyan. So regarding that, there are some important details which are given. So we are going to discuss that. That will be important from our governance point of view. And this mainly comes in a GS paper too. Actually, this Poshan Abhiyan is important from both your prelims and as well as mains. And next topic we are going to discuss, it is about stubble burning. Okay, so what is a stubble? Stubble means nothing but whatever the leftover thing after harvesting of a crop that is present in field, that is called as stubble. So it is one of important major problem, especially during winter season in national capital region. So whenever we are going for stubble burning in nearby regions like Punjab and Haryana, so whatever the smoke it is mainly carrying, so because of winds which are moving in this direction, that is leading to bad air quality index in Delhi region. So here this article may talking about one innovation for managing of this stubble burning. So this will be important from our environment and ecology point of view, which comes under GS paper 3. And next topic, it is about 28% of 1,30,000 assessed species of facing extinction. So this will be important from our environment and ecology again. And next topic, it is about reopening of schools. So if you are talking about this reopening of schools, so what are the important concerns? Okay, so this article mainly talked about some important facts regarding COVID-19 and children, and what will be the risk regarding opening of schools and as well as what can be done. So that will be important from education, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. And next topic, it is about malaria vaccine. So again this will be important from science and technology point of view, which comes again under GS paper 3. And next one, it is about Rhizobacteria. So this article mainly talking about what is this Rhizobacteria. So what are the advantages of this Rhizobacteria and relationship between green revolution and Rhizobacteria. So this will be important from environment and ecology, which comes in the GS paper 3. And next one is shape of egg. So recently one study mainly made regarding the shape of egg, and it revealed some important scientific facts. So that will be important from science and technology point of view. And next one, it is about Rhino. So in this context, we need to know about Rhino vision. Okay, so that will be important from environment and ecology, which comes under GS paper 3. And next topic, it is about exoplanets. Okay, so recently one exoplanet mainly found. So regarding that is in news, and this will be important from science and technology point of view. And next topic, it is about REM, that is random eye movements. So it is one of the stage in sleep cycle. So how this random eye movements lead to relieving of stress for brain, that mainly present in this article. So that is important from our science and technology point of view. So now let us try to discuss each and every topic in a very great detail. So if you are talking about some important details, it mainly says that first article title mainly says that continue Poshan Abhiyan center urged. Okay, so this article mainly talking about this Poshan Abhiyan. So this article will be important regarding governance point of view, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. So now let's try to talk about this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that Telangana state government. So Telangana state government requested center to continue Poshan Abhiyan program. So context mainly says that Telangana state government requested center to continue Poshan Abhiyan program. Why? Because so this Poshan Abhiyan program, which will be very much helpful to overcome nutritional deficiency mainly facing by many pregnant women, lactating mothers, and even children who are below 5 years of age, mainly to address this nutrition deficiency in these sections of people like pregnant women, lactating mothers, and as well as children who are below age of 5 years. So Telangana government requested center to continue this Poshan Abhiyan program. So if you are talking about details, it mainly says that Minister for Women Development Child Welfare requested Union Minister to restore reduced central share in Anganwadi center. So recently there is reducing of share, okay, by center in Anganwadi centers. So because of this, here Telangana government, which is mainly requesting union government to restore the reduced center share in Anganwadi centers, and even to implement Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana to Anganwadi teachers and as well as helpers. And as well as government is mainly requesting to increase millet quota such as sorghum, pearl millet under this nutrition program. So these are very much important, that is millets are very much important to provide nutrients, okay. So in this way, under this nutrition program, so we need to increase the quota of millets such as sorghum and as well as pearl millet. So if we're talking about significance, so what happened recently, central government withdrawn some components under integrated child development scheme, that is ICDS scheme, and also government reduced the central share in women and child welfare schemes. So because of this, whenever government which is decreasing its intervention and as well as whenever it is withdrawing some important components under this ICDS, that is Integrated Child Development Scheme, and as well as whenever it is going for reduction of central share, so that may be having some impact, that is negative impact on pregnant women, lactating women, and even children who are below 5 years of age. So this is about this article, and now let us try to see some facts regarding this Poshan Abhiyan. So if we are talking about this Poshan Abhiyan, it is a national nutrition mission, and this mission launched by government on 8th March 2018. So in 2018, this Poshan Abhiyan was launched by government. So this Poshan Abhiyan is also called as National Nutritional Mission, okay. So it is also called as a National Nutrition Mission. So this Abhiyan mainly targets to reduce stunting, to reduce undernutrition, and as well as anemia. So what is this stunting and what is the wasting? So we discussed number of times, right? So let me know what is the difference between stunting and wasting, okay, and let me know the data regarding stunting and wasting in India according to recent report, okay. So this is your homework and don't forget about this. So this Abhiyan mainly targets to reduce stunting and as well as undernutrition, even anemia among children, women and adolescent girls, and to reduce low birth weight. So actually in India we are seeing due to undernutrition, malnutrition and as well as anemia, so birth of the babies, okay. So whenever new babies are born, so their weight it is low, so that is called, those children are called as LBW babies, that is low birth weight babies. So this Abhiyan is also focusing to reduce low birth weight by 2%, okay, 2%, 3% and 2% per annum respectively. And the target of this mission, it is to bring down stunting among the children from age groups, that is 0 to 6 years, okay, from 38.4% to 25% by 2022. So this is the target. And this Poshan Abhiyan also aims to ensure service delivery and even intervention by the use of technology, and even it is mainly focusing on behavioral change also. So whenever we are changing the attitude, okay, so whenever we are bringing attitudinal change, then only the final result we can see. So it is also focusing on this behavioral change, okay. So this is about some important facts regarding Poshan Abhiyan. But recently government came up with this Poshan Abhiyan 2.0 program, and it mainly announced in recent budget 2021 to 2022. So now let us try to talk about what is this mission Poshan 2.0. So government recently announced this Poshan 2.0 program in budget 2021 to 2022, and are mainly focusing on aims of this Poshan Abhiyan. But there is a small difference. So this Poshan 2.0, which is Integrated Nutrition Support Program, and it is mainly focusing to increase nutritional content and as well as delivery, outreach and outcomes. And even it mainly focuses on developing practices that will nurture health, wellness and immunity towards disease and malnutrition. Okay, so this is about this mission portion 2.0. So these are some important points that you need to remember regarding this topic. Now let us move on to the next topic. Title says Punjab breeds innovation finds gainful use for paddy stubble. So if you see this image, you can see that so and so person, he is mainly putting a fire on stubble. This event is called as stubble burning. So because of this stubble burning, that will lead to large amount of pollution, that is air pollution. So during this winter season, that will also leads to bad air quality in nearby area, that is a national capital territory, that is Delhi. So this is one of important cause for bad air quality index in Delhi. So here this article, it is mainly talking about stubble burning and alternative to this stubble burning, which mainly discussed in this topic. And this will be important from environment and ecology, which comes under GS paper 3. And this article you can add as a case study or examples that recently Punjab came up with one innovation to deal with this stubble burning like that, and you can write the data which is given here. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that so close to autumn every year, stubble burning returns to worsen air pollution across India's northern plains. So in India's northern plains, we can see there is a bad air quality and there will be increasing of air pollution. So one important major point of source here is stubble burning. So to curb this menace during this paddy harvesting season, so after once paddy is harvested, so they will be having very much little time to go towards this winter sowings. So because of this, here these farmers, they will set up a fire for this stubble. So now Punjab is all set this year to promote paddy straw as a resource to create wealth rather than waste. Okay, so rather than the stubble will be waste, here Punjab government, it is all set to promote paddy straw as a resource to create wealth. So if you are talking about some details here, so state government, it is working to present paddy straw as a resource that creates value and wealth for industry and farming community rather than being a waste product of paddy cultivation. So now state government, it is working to present this paddy straw as a resource, and this paddy straw that will create a value and as well as wealth for industry and also for farming community. So government recently decided to permit certain categories of industries, and these industries, they can install paddy straw fired boilers. So these industries, they will be given fiscal incentives, that is some support from government. So if we are talking about this scheme, so industries included in this scheme, they are mainly sugar mills and as well as pulp and paper mills, etc. Industries, they are having this boiler installation with a steam generating capacity, and that should be more than 25 tons per hour. And the government here decided to provide some incentives. For example, rupees 25 crores to the first 50 existing industries on first come first served basis. So which are the industries which are coming with this incentives with this type of installations with a steam generating capacity, then they will be getting some financial incentives. And not only this financial incentives, they will be also getting some non-fiscal incentives for these industries. So here they will be getting some amount of land from panchayats such that they can store this paddy straw with a lease agreement. So if we are talking about some important data here, according to government data, in 2020 as many as 76,590 cases of farm fires are reported in Punjab. So in Punjab, about 76,590 cases of farm fires, they were reported. And now you can imagine like how much air pollution which is causing, right? So in 2019, there were 59,991 fire incidents that happened. And in 2018, which mainly recorded 51,766. But if I compare with 2019 and 2018, in 2020, it was a very much high. And also estimated that 15 million tons, okay, 15 million tons of paddy straw has been burnt in open field, okay, mainly because there is a small period for winter sowing, so because of that they are going for stubble burning. So now let us try to talk about what is a stubble. Stubble is also known as parali. So stubble burning, or we can say parali burning, it is an act of setting up a fire to crop residue to remove them from the field such that they can go for next sowings. So in order to plant the winter crop, that is rabi crop, farmers in Haryana, Punjab and Western UP, so they are mainly having very short interval, and in this interval they need to go for next sowings. So because of this, whenever if they want to use technology, it will be heavy, costly, and they will not get time mainly to use this technology. So because of this, the farmers in this area, they mainly go for burning. Burning will be the very much cheapest and as well as fastest way to get rid of stubble. And if parali which is left in field without removing that, some pests like termites, they may attack the upcoming crop also. That will leads to huge losses to farmers. Okay, so this is about this stubble. And now let us try to talk about what are the alternatives to this stubble. So if we are talking about alternatives, first one is in situ treatment of stubble. So for example, crop residue management. Okay, for example, crop residue management by zero tiller machine, and as well as we can use biodecomposers like pusa, right? And next one is ex situ treatment, like we can also use rice straw as cattle fodder. So in many areas this rice fodder is used as a cattle fodder. And next one is we can use some technology like turbo happy seeder machine that can uproot the stubble and also sow the seeds in area where it is clear. So stubble can be used as a mulch for field. That can be the one of soil conservation method. And next one is changing cropping pattern. So it is a deeper and more fundamental solution that we can come up with this stubble burning issue. So this is gist of this topic, and now let us move on to next topic. Title says 28% of 1,38,000 assessed species faced extinction. So it is talking about species which are mainly facing extinction. So this article will be important regarding environment and ecology, which comes under GS paper 3. So now let us try to talk about this topic in a very great detail. So if you see context, it mainly says that about 28% of 1,38,374. Okay, so among this 1,38,374 species which are mainly assessed by IUCN, so out of this 28% of species, they are having a threat of extinction. Okay, so this is a thing which mainly said by IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature. So if you are talking about some details, it mainly says that what are the reasons? Reasons here is habitat loss, over exploitation and even illegal trade. So these are the some important reasons that led to near extinction of this global wildlife population for decades. And even now climate change which is now kicking in a direction of threats. So if we are talking about some facts, it mainly says that Komodo dragons, they are the largest living lizards. They were found only in World Heritage listed Komodo National Park. So they are found only in this Komodo National Park, and being floats, they were listed as endangered. Okay, so decreasing of the number that led to changing of its list. Okay, changing of its status to endangered in IUCN Red List. And there are about 37% of 1200 shark and ray species they assessed by experts, and they are directly threatened by extinction, and a third more than only 7 years ago. So these are some important details which are given in this article, and I hope it is clear. Now let us move on to next topic. Title says why the priority should be to reopen primary schools. So this article mainly talking about reopening of primary schools. So this article will be important regarding education, which comes under GS paper 2. So here there is a one dilemma between reopening of schools. So first one is children, they can carry infection, and they can infect the people who are vulnerable in their home, like their parents, grandparents, etc. And second one important concern here is, if we are not going for reopening of schools, that will lead to learning loss. So whether we need to open or not. So this is a dilemma that we are seeing, and many TV channels, they are conducting debate regarding this topic, and it became a hot topic now, right? So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So let us try to understand in all the dimensions. First, let us try to see context. If you see context, it mainly says that at least 6 states in India, they reopened school in mid-August. And even recently states like Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, they opened schools. They reopened schools from September 1st onwards. So if you see some details, it mainly says that now most of the states, they are prioritizing opening of schools for higher classes, not reopening for primary schools. Okay, so because of this, it mainly shows many things. So if you see here, there are two important scientific things that we need to remember. First one is scientific, and epidemiological evidence is not what is used for decision making here. So here, as we know that even WHO chief and many reports from ICMR also saying that here this coronavirus will not cause much damage or much health impacts on children who are below 12 years of age. But here, whenever we are prioritizing reopening of schools, they did not took scientific and epidemiological evidence into consideration in decision making. And second important thing that we need to remember here is, policymakers, they go by assumption that older children are more likely to follow COVID-19 protocol, but not children. So these are the two important things that mainly took into consideration regarding this decision making. So finally, decision also influenced by fear and apprehension among the parents that younger children may be at higher risk. So because of this decision, finally now parents are also believing that yes, children are more vulnerable to this COVID-19. So because of this, even though there are many reports are saying that so children are not more susceptible, but here in practical, in schools, they have not been opened for primary schools, only for secondary and as well as higher classes. So there is reopening of schools that is happening in many states. So what is the relative risk? So based on Indian and as well as global data, so the risk of severe disease and deaths are very much low in adolescents and children who are younger than 12 years. So first important data here is, so based on some Indian and as well as global data, the risk of severe disease and death, they are low in adolescents and children who are younger than 12 years of age. So adults have almost 15 times higher risk than compared to that of children and as well as adolescents who are above 18 years of age. And while children, they can get asymptomatic infection, yes, children, they can get asymptomatic infection or they might be having a mild disease, but risk of severe disease or death, which is very rare in children and as well as adolescents. And according to epidemiologists from Bangalore Public Health Foundation of India, so they mainly studied about 15 contracted tracing studies, and these studies indicate that children and adolescents, they have lower susceptibility to this SARS coronavirus to infection than compared to that of adults. So here, through this data, we can say that children are relatively lower risk than compared to that of adults. And next important data which mainly says that even according to fourth serological survey of ICMR, which mainly indicates that seroprevalence in children was comparable to adults, and seroprevalence among children who are between 6 to 17 years of age, it is about 60%, while unvaccinated adults, it is about 62% seropositivity. But even though here what happened, so we can see if children, they are getting this asymptomatic infection also, it is a very mild, it will not be severe, and as well as we cannot expect much deaths. And if we are talking about risk, so risk of COVID-19 for children is much lower than compared to that of adults. So if you talk about study which mainly says that 137 million school-age children in US and Europe, so based on this children, so there was a study, and this study said that COVID-19 is less than half as risky as seasonal influenza in children. So it is very much low risk than compared to even seasonal influenza in children. And there has been a concern that possible third wave mainly involving the newer variants that could affect children. But if you are talking about data regarding the first wave and second wave, they are mainly affected adults, not children. And a similar study among the 2 million children in Sweden also done, and they found that there is no single death of child due to this COVID-19 pandemic. And even as per Mumbai's dashboard data, COVID-19 IFR infection fatality rate under this COVID-19 is minuscule. It is just 0.003%. And what can be done? What can be the decision that can be taken? So policymakers, they need to make evidence-based decision towards school reopening. At least, okay, the working class and as well children of India need to deserve this. And we need to reduce the concern among the teachers, and government must need to treat them as a priority group people, and government need to provide vaccination for teacher and as well as other non-teaching staffs in schools. So this is a decision which mainly taken by our central government. And next one is we need to go for vaccination drive for children. It must be based on a careful risk benefit analysis. And we need to come up with a differential approach of partial reopening, and we can also go for analyzing the children with sufficient access to digital tools. So this is a gist of this topic. And now let us try to talk about next topic. Title says anti-malarial vaccine drug combo proves most efficacious in Africa trial. So it is talking about anti-malarial vaccine along with the drug combination. So in vaccine also we can expect breakthrough infections. That means even if we took this vaccine, okay, so even though if we had this vaccine, but sometimes we can see there will be infections. So even though we are having breakthrough infections through this vaccines, and we can also take some combination drug. So because of this, whenever we are taking this vaccine along with the drug combination, that will mainly increase efficacy against this malaria. So this is the gist. So this article will be important regarding science and technology, which comes in the GS paper 3. And now let us try to talk about context. So if you see context, it mainly says that WHO, World Health Organization, came up with this strategic advisory group of experts of immunization, SAGE. SAGE mainly says that so there is evidence to decide on rollout of first malarial vaccine, that is RTSS. So this latest body of research which is mainly testing vaccine along with combination of some anti-malarial drugs, okay, anti-malarial drugs along with vaccine. And this study which mainly found most efficacy in preventing hospitalizations from severe malaria and as well as deaths regarding this malaria. So if you're talking about some details, it mainly says that according to paper recently which mainly published in New England Journal of Medicine. So according to paper which mainly published in New England Journal of Medicine, which mainly says that the combination of these interventions which mainly resulted in substantially lower incidence of uncomplicated malaria. So this will be helpful mainly to reduce incidence of this malaria and severe malaria and even death from malaria. So this is very much effective. And in the phase 3 clinical trials, so this vaccine has been 50% efficacious in children who are mainly more than 1 year, and as well as in 25% of infants it is 50% efficacy. But when this vaccine is used along with this anti-malarial drug, and we can see the efficacy of 70%. So if we are talking about some facts, so this malaria vaccine was first authorized in 2015 by European Medical Agency. And if you are talking about some more important facts, so this is the world's first malaria vaccine. So name is Mosquirix. So RTSS, it is also known with a trade name, that is Mosquirix. So which mainly uses antibodies to target against the proteins that are mainly present in these sporozoites. So here this Mosquirix, which is also engineered to using hepatitis B viral protein and even chemical adjuvant to further boost immune system. that will enhance our effectiveness of vaccine. So if we talk about some facts regarding this malaria, which mainly caused by Plasmodium. So it mainly spread through female Anopheles mosquito. So malaria, it is one of leading cause for human morbidity and even mortality. So despite huge progress in tracking of this disease or tackling of this disease, so it is still prevalent. Okay, 2.12 million new cases of malaria and 4,30,000 deaths regarding this malaria that is seen worldwide each year. So because of this, this vaccine plays an important role to reduce mortality regarding this malaria. And now let us move on to next topic. Title says soil microbes can make for a greener revolution. So this article mainly talking about rhizomicrobiome, that is Rhizobacteria. So this will be very important from our GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. So now let us try to see some important details regarding this or facts regarding this Rhizobium bacteria. So if you see, this is a stem and here we have root. Okay. So in this root we are having root nodules. Okay. So in this root system we are having this root nodules. So in these root nodules we are seeing the symbiosis between this plant and as well as Rhizobium bacteria. So here this Rhizobium bacteria, which is mainly present in root nodules, that will helpful for more absorption of nitrogen. Okay, they are also called as nitrogenous bacteria. So this will be helpful for absorption of nitrogen. Okay, as you all know, NPK, they are important components. Nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium, they are very much important for growth of plants. So here this Rhizobium bacteria is very much helpful for absorbing of nitrogen from atmosphere to this plant. Okay, so this is about some introduction regarding this Rhizobium bacteria. So if you're talking about some context, it mainly says that a new and fascinating aspects to hybrid vigor is rhizomicrobiome. So this article mainly talking about Rhizobium bacteria. So if you're talking about details, it mainly says that association. So if you're talking about, first of all, let us see introduction. So if you're talking about any plant, so it will be having stem, it will be having branches, and it will be having leaves, and it will be bearing flowers, and some bearing fruits, and they will be also having root system. So it is like a very simple thing. So if you see trees and as well as plants, they are immovable, right? But they are living. And if you see the structure, it will be like very simple. But if you see inside, so they will absorb water from soil, and they will absorb nutrients, and they will absorb sunlight, and that sunlight is used to prepare carbohydrates. That is called as photosynthesis. So inside mechanisms are very complex. It is not as simple it is looking outside, and they are immovable. If there is any pathogen which is affecting, and they will defend, right? So if you are talking about humans, so we are movable and we are having hands, we are having legs, right? So if there is anything which is happening against us, so sometimes we need to defend, right? But if you see about these plants and as well as the trees, they are immovable. But even though they are immovable, they mainly defend pathogens, they mainly defend their threats, right? In this way, here how they are looking outside, like we are very simple, but they are not very simple, or very complex. So if you're talking about this article, which is mainly focusing about Rhizobacteria, so there is association between plants and as well as fungi that is seen in ancient. So even some fossils, they are mainly found that they are about 400 million ago. So even though those fossils mainly show the first evidence of roots, and these roots, in these roots there is association with this fungus, that is rhizoids. For example, if you are talking about fungus, that is Penicillium, so the fungus from which our Alexander Fleming, he isolated antibiotic, that is penicillin, that is Penicillium notatum, right? So if you are talking about fungus, so these are mainly found in roots. Okay, so they are root associations, they are called as mycorrhizae. So these mycorrhizae appear first glance to be simple mutualism that will benefits both. Okay, that is the symbiosis present between plant and as well as fungus. So if you are talking about some facts, bacteria mainly associate with the roots, they are called as Rhizobacteria, and we can see a very wide range of these species or plant growth promoters. So if you are talking about benefits, it mainly says that they may help plant mainly it will be helpful for increasing of nitrogen absorption. It is also helpful for to fight against pathogens which are present at the roots, and they may also even trigger systemic resistance to pathogen without the plant, and even they are having a role in green revolution. So in this green revolution we are mainly focusing to increase our food produce, and we need to become food security, right? So here during this green revolution, so which mainly brought up a drastic change in agriculture produce in our country. So the key behind this is this Rhizobium bacteria. So there is a rich collection of microbes that mainly surrounds the root of every plant that mainly found. So because of this, here we can see, so this Rhizobium bacteria also played an important role in this green revolution for the success of green revolution. So this is gist of this topic. And now let's try to move to next topic. Title says egg shell understood, egg shape understood. So this is the shape of egg, right? So this article mainly talking about shape of egg. So this will be important from science and technology, which comes under GS paper 3. Now let us try to talk about this topic. So it is a very simple topic. There is nothing much to explain regarding this, but let us try to see. So if you see, context mainly says that scientists from University of Kent, now they have mathematical equation for the shape of egg. So if you talk about details, it mainly says that this perfect shape, that is large enough. So egg shape is a perfect. So this shape, it is very much helpful to hold embryo, and this shape, it is also very much small enough for it to exit efficiently, which does not roll away. So if you see if you are talking about egg shape, so this size will be like this, right? So in this size, it is very much helpful, that will be enough to hold embryo, and this size will be very much small even for the exit from their hens, right? So it is very much small enough for it to exit efficiently, which does not roll away. So if we are talking about the significance of this study, so this equation will be very much helpful to figure out how and why the shape evolved, and also in applications such as bio-inspired engineering. So this will be helpful mainly to understand how this shape evolved, and as well as applications in bio-inspired engineering. So this is gist of this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. Title says Hycean worlds. So this article, it is about exoplanets. So recently one study which mainly published in Astrophysics journal. So now let us try to talk about this topic. So this topic, it is important from science and technology, which comes under GS paper 3. So if you are talking about context, it mainly says that study published in Astrophysical journal. So study mainly published in Astrophysical journal, which indicates a new class of exoplanet. So new class of exoplanet is Hycean worlds. Okay. So new class of exoplanets is Hycean worlds. So if you see details, it mainly says that Hycean worlds that could support life different from that of Earth. So if you are comparing with Earth and these exoplanets, so these Hycean worlds are also capable of supporting of life. Okay, so this is the first important thing. And this one is, these planets, they are around 2.6. So they are around 2.6 times the size of Earth, and they have temperature about 200 degrees centigrade and planet-wide oceans. Okay, so here these planets are 2.6 times the size of Earth, and temperature is also very much high. So even though with these conditions, they are supporting microbial underwater life. So if you're talking about some facts regarding exoplanets, so what are these exoplanets? So exoplanets, or we can say that they are extrasolar planets. So because they are mainly present outside our solar system. So planets which are present outside our solar system, they are called as exoplanets. And the first confirmation of detection of these exoplanets occurred in year 1992. And exoplanets are very hard to see directly with telescopes, because they are mainly hidden by bright glare of stars they orbit. So astronomers, they mainly use other ways to detect these exoplanets. Okay, so now let us move on to next topic. Title says Rhino lineages. It is mainly talking about rhino lineages. So now this article will be important regarding GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. So if you see context, it mainly says that rhinos, they have historically exhibited low genetic biodiversity. So we can see there is low genetic diversity according to a recent study. So according to a recent study, it mainly says that rhinos, they are historically exhibited low genetic diversity. So if you see details, it mainly says that study published in Cell analyzed genomes of 5 living species of rhinos and also 3 ancient and extincted ones. So here this study mainly studied about, so this study analyzed the genomes of 5 living species of rhinos and 3 ancient and as well as extincted 1 rhinos. So this study mainly found out that the oldest split in African and as well as Eurasian lineages occurred nearly 16 million years ago. So we can see there is low genetic diversity in rhinos. So here in this context, we need to talk about what is this India Rhino Vision. So already we discussed a number of facts regarding this rhino, but till now we didn't discuss this in the Indian Rhino Vision 2020. So now let us try to see some facts regarding this Indian Rhino Vision. So if you're talking about this Rhino Vision, which mainly launched in 2005 itself, but this Indian Rhino Vision 2020, which was an ambitious effort mainly to attain wild population of at least 3,000 greater one-horned rhinoceros. And next one is 7 protected areas includes Kaziranga National Park, Pobitora, Orang National Park, Manas National Park, Lyokhowa Wildlife Sanctuary and Burchapuri Wildlife Sanctuary and Dibru-Sikhowa Wildlife Sanctuary. So these are 7 protected areas. And wild to wild translocations, they were essential part of this Indian Rhino Vision 2020. And we are mainly moving rhinos from densely populated parks like for example Kaziranga National Park, okay, to other parks like Manas National Park. And here it is one of a collaborative effort between various organizations including International Rhino Foundation, Assam Forest Department and as well as Bodo Territorial Council, Worldwide Fund, India, etc. So these are some important facts that you need to remember. And now let us move on to next topic. So before seeing next topic, I want to make a small announcement on this platform. So if you want to clear UPSC 2022, we came up with one excellent, highly beneficial and as well as highly economical course, that is Current Affairs Package along with main answer writing practice. So how this course will be useful to clear this UPSC 2022? So one thing you need to remember here is before entering into examination hall, you need to know at least 1.5 years current affairs for sure. And this is right time to join this course to cover this 1.5 years current affairs in a comprehensive manner. And next one here is mains answer writing practice. Many students, they ignore this mains answer writing practice, but this mains answer writing practice is very critical in your preparation, because in mains you will be having 3 hours of time. So in this 3 hours you need to answer 20 questions. So you will be having on average 7 to 7.5 minutes for one question. So now you can imagine how fast you should be, right? So here if in this course you can practice more than 300 questions and also more than 50 essays. So in this way, this course will give you enough practice to improve your answer writing skills. And if you join this course, we also conduct prelims test and we also provide you video explanation part. So in this way, this course which is designed as per demand of UPSC. So finally, I want to say one thing. Please don't take this course as a choice. Try to join this course as soon as possible and achieve your dream of clearing UPSC. So details of this course it is given in description box, so please visit that once. And if you want to talk to me directly, you can call to this number 8074765513. Now let's come back and let us see next topic. Title says sleep, refresh and brain. So this article mainly talking about rapid eye movements. So now let us try to see this topic. So this topic is also important from science and technology, which comes under GS paper 3. If you see context, it mainly says that a recent study published in Cell Reports. So recent study which mainly published in Cell Reports finds evidence that rapid eye movements which have impact on refreshing the brain. So it is about rapid eye movements, okay, rapid eye movement sleep refreshes the brain. So if you're talking about details, it mainly says that, so in this rapid eye movement sleep, so it is a phase of a deep sleep, we will be getting dreams in this phase. So the University of Tsukuba researchers directly observed that, so whenever we are in rapid eye movements, that is we are in a great deep sleep, we are getting dreams means, so that will lead to increase in red blood cell circulation, okay, in the brain, okay. So because of this, it will lead to some stress relief to our brain. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see the sleep cycle. So if you're talking about the sleep cycle, we are having mainly 5 stages. First stage here, we will be feeling drowsy. So within 5 to 10 minutes, we will be feeling drowsy. And next one is in stage 2, there will be light sleep, which mainly lasts for 20 minutes. And next stage, we will be entering into moderate sleep, which mainly lasts till 10 to 20 minutes. And here in stage 4, we will enter into the deep sleep, which mainly lasts 30 minutes. So after this deep sleep, we will enter into this random eye movements. So we will be having, so that is rapid eye movements. Okay, so we can see like it is a dreaming, okay, it is a dreaming stage. So if you're talking about sleep cycle, so again it will be divided into 4 stages. Normally here in this stage 0 will be the drowsiness. So if you see the stage 1, we will be having lightest sleep. So in this lightest sleep, heartbeat and as well as breathing mainly slows down. Slow rolling eye movements that we can see, and sudden jerks or muscle spasms we can experience. And in stage 2, we can experience light sleep. Slow eye movements will stop here, and heartbeat slows even more, and body temperature begins to drop in this stage 2. And in stage 3, we will enter into this deep sleep. So in this deep sleep, brain waves slow down even more, and tissue repair and regrow that mainly happens. And heartbeat and breathing, it is very much lowest. And if you see in stage 4, deep sleep, that is a rapid eye movements. So here in this stage, here heart rate and blood pressure mainly increases, dreams and memories form, and eye movements mainly speed up. So this REM stage will be very much helpful mainly here, okay. So here rapid eye movements, REM, that is rapid eye movements, that mainly helpful for refreshing our brain. So this is the thing that you need to remember. So these are some important articles which appeared in today's newspaper. So I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos. And please enroll to this current affairs package. And for the PDF of this lecture, please join the Telegram channel, link which is given in the description box. Thank you so much.